Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Reiki with Anna. If you are new here and this is your first video of mine, welcome. My name is Anna and I am a Reiki Master practitioner. I studied under the amazing Lune Innate, Jillian, and another woman in Costa Rica. And I'm honored to be here today. If you've seen my videos before, hey, thanks for coming back. So we're in a slightly different setup today. This is actually where I do a lot of my Reiki. This is called the Reiki room. And it's very light and very breezy, and all of the furniture is very light, and it has a very natural feel to it. Lots of plants. So I wanted to bring you in here today. I've wanted to do a video in here for a while because I thought it might be fun for you to see a place where, if I were doing in-person sessions, I would probably do those. But also to prevent myself and my equipment from roasting in the sun. I usually record in a little shed, and it got so hot that my equipment started getting a little agitated, so I wanted to make sure that you would have a nice viewing and hopefully auditory experience, which was not going to be possible if I stayed out there. I think everything would have gone. So, this video, as I'm sure you could see by the title, is about trust. Oh, that's my dog. And so for me, this is all about trusting my instincts and following those, even though this is slightly different for you as the viewer. But I wanted to just sort of invite a few things into this space. It's a brighter video. It's also got some ambient noise. I have the aircon on, so it's hopefully going to be a relaxing white noise for you. And don't worry, this is a temporary shift. Unless you all love this and prefer it to my other videos, I will probably continue to record as per usual down the line. That was a long-winded intro, so thanks for bearing with me. So I'm going to grab my selenite wand and we'll begin chatting about trust. Got the bigger selenite wand today. I'm going to be running this through your etheric field. I think that it's a really nice practice to clear and cleanse before starting a practice. Just kind of clearing anything from the day, arriving here in this present moment, releasing anything that feels held or stuck, releasing anything that is not in service of your wisest self. Just for now, giving ourselves permission to be present right here, right now. Hello. This is a video that I've had requested many times by you lovelies, and I've wanted to create a video session like this, just really holding space for trust in divine timing, trust that it's going to be okay, trust that it will get better, trust that the universe has your back. Okay. Great. So I'm going to be using a little bit of sage, and I just want to further clear anything that feels a little stuck, a little heavy, anything that's feeling a little bit, held or tight. If there's a burden that you'd like to let go of, I invite you to do that now. I love this smell. What a treat. Just allow any of those worries, any burdens to just be wafted away with the smoke. Anything that's available to be released, just allowing it to be released now. Okay, great. And now I have some cedarwood incense here. I'm going to be using this to set our intention and draw the sacred Reiki symbols. Okay. on behalf of our wisest, highest, most empowered and aligned selves, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this distance Reiki session for inviting in trust, a deep sense of trust. Trust in the universe, trust in the earth plane, trust in others, and trust in ourselves. Now I'm going to draw the sacred symbols about a foot from your heart center here. And now we're just going to use this smoke here to clear anything that's not in service of our intention. Just clearing and cleansing. Smells so nice and grounding. Now I have this spray. I did this in another session earlier, yesterday I think, and I put this in the refrigerator after I made the spray, and I thought it was really refreshing and really nice. So I wanted to do that again today, and not that you can feel the temperature difference, but just to give you that real sense of, oh, it's cool mist. Nice, refreshing cool mist. I know not everybody is in an incredibly hot place right now, but for those of us who are, I thought this would be nice. Okay. The scent today is cedarwood and lavender, which actually smells really nice. It's weird because It almost smells like rose because it's very earthy and then very kind of lifted and floral. And the combination, for some reason, really smells like rose. So I'm going to be spraying at your right and then at your left, then down at your feet and then above your head. So here and here, down at your feet. Okay, and then above your head here. Just feeling through your etheric field and seeing if anything seems out of balance. Now I'm going to place a few stones along your body here. I'm going to bring them over and put them and a few more over here. Okay. Great. So I'm going to start with this amethyst cluster. And I'm going to be placing this right on the crown of your head, almost like you're wearing a little crown. Hey, what's up? So I love using amethyst to just kind of connect with the higher self. Connect with the spirit realm, connect with your spiritual side, connect to the universe, to source. As a sense of deep spiritual clarity, openness, all of that. So I'm going to be placing this ever so gently right on the crown of your head here. Lovely. And then I'll just sit and as a cluster pierce through any blockages that might be preventing you from connecting with your wisest self. The next one I have here is a piece of lapis lazuli. And I want to place this right on your third eye. It's a very regal stone of great beauty, of intuition. Little gold flecks, gold colored flecks. It's pyrite, but So just placing this ever so gently right on the third eye there. A lot of what I'm playing around with today in terms of stones is I wanted it to have kind of an ancient feeling, a feeling of really stepping back and trusting in our ancestors, everything that's happened before you, everything that's come and gone before you were here. I wanted to play around with this idea of the past and history and kind of ancient beings and things like that. I think it can be nice to know that we're not alone. I think it can also be nice to trust that history is supporting us now. That everyone who came before us is supporting us now. And also your own personal history. So as you try to figure out how to trust now, it can be helpful to ask why we are having trouble trusting. And very often that leads to a little journey back in time to our own past to try to figure out if there was anything in our lives that kind of taught us that it's not safe to trust. So I wanted the idea of history and past to be brought to the surface here for those few reasons. I hope that made sense. So this is Amazonite, another one that I like to play around with. It's a great stone for flow, and I like to play around with this stone for learning from the past, revisiting past experiences. It's a beautiful flow, great strength to it. So I'm going to be placing this ever so gently right at the throat. It's light and flat, so it sits nicely and it's very comfortable. And then some rose quartz for the heart center today. Just providing some beautiful support as we move through this time of distrust, maybe fear. I want to do a video session on fear as well. It's big topics, you know. So I'm going to be placing this ever so gently and with all the respect in the world right at your heart center there. Lovely. And now another stone of flow, fluidity, Mukite, jasper. I think Mukite can be used on a few different chakras, as can all stones. I mean, you can play around with whatever feels right and makes sense for you. It has yellow jasper in it, and I wanted to use it for the properties of yellow jasper, grounding in that sense of self-worth, confidence, and also the flow of Mukite. The sense that maybe it's uncomfortable now, but it's gonna move on. The only permanence is change, and just sort of trusting in that. It's tough if you're having a great time. If you happen to be watching this at a time when you're like, everything is going so well, does it have to change? But, you know, that's part of the process of trusting as well, right? Trusting that it's great now. Live presently in this moment. This is a beautiful time for you to experience the joy of ease and success and whatever it is that you're going through that you want to hold on to. And just know that just like the tide. It ebbs and flows. Just like the moon, it will wax and wane. It will come back around. And the next time it comes around, if you're lucky, you will have learned something, a great lesson. So I'm going to be placing this very smooth. It's a polished mookaite, so it's really lovely to hold. Let me placing this right at the solar plexus. Okay. Now I have a lovely piece of carnelian. Very, very nurturing stone. I love using this for emotional availability, nurturing any difficult emotions that you're moving through. I love this stone. I think it's also a great stone for creativity. So if your trust is tied up with your own creativity or your sense of value in the work that you do or in your creativity, then this is there. Also, it's tied to reproduction as well, the sacral chakra. So if there's any, I know a few of you have mentioned trust issues when it comes to the ability to have a baby or anything like that. And so just providing support for that area as well. But this is a very nurturing, very protective, it's a lovely stone. So again, with all the respect in the world, just placing that very gently at your sacral, 2 to 3 fingers beneath your belly button. I have 2 little stones that I'd like to place outside of either hip. This is a red jasper, very grounding stone, very balancing. I like to use it to help with alignment as well. And then a black onyx. And this is a very protective stone. So I want to place both of these just here on either side of your hips. Okay. It's going to get darker and darker throughout this video. So now I'm going to be moving through with this clear quartz cluster, my fortress of solitude. And starting at the crown, moving down and activating these stones. I want to bring in a beautiful, vibrant energy here. I think when I'm working with, my dress keeps riding up. When I'm working with trust, any kind of trust issues or energy that has to do with trust, the crown and the root are usually the 2 places I work with, and then kind of balancing and linking them together with the heart center. I think it can be quite easy during challenging times to lose trust in everything, in ourselves, the universe, in each other, our partners, our families, loved ones, strangers. So I think during times of hardship and uncertainty, practicing trust, I think, is vitally important. I think it's an active pursuit and not a character trait. While some are more trusting than others, I think we can practice it, I believe. We can practice trust. And it's a lot about release. Releasing a sense of control. Releasing a sense of should. Just erase that word. That was meant to sound like an old school eraser. I think it just sounded like an old man laughing. Sorry. Okay. Lovely. I'm now going to draw the symbols in the palms of my hands, and then I'm going to be placing my hands. Oh, just a little squirrel. Okay. Place a few more stones. I'm going to place some black tourmaline at your feet. I have these 3 different pieces. They have been cleansed. So I'm going to be placing these just kind of down around your feet area. Okay. And now I'm going to use this amethyst point to draw the symbols in the palms of my hands. Seiki, seiki, seiki. Taiko mio, taiko mio, taiko mio. Chokure, chokure, chokure. Chokure, chokure, chokure. Okay. For this hands-on healing, I wanted to do something a little bit different. And if you're open to it, I would love it if you would join me. So as I place my hands on your body, if you're, again, comfortable with it, able to do it, open to it, and want to do it, then you can just follow along, okay? I just thought this might be nice. So let's rub our hands together. Create some heat, some vibration, movement. Okay. Now, I'm going to slowly place my hands right on the crown of your head. And if you're open to it, you can place your hands right on the very top of your head. Okay. Well, let's rub our hands together again. And next I'm going to be placing my hands on either side of your head, like so. You can go fast. You can go very slow. Now, on the forehead, it can either be like so, one on top of the other, beside each other, whatever feels best for you, or just one hand. You could also place one hand on the front and one hand on the back, like so. So I'm going to place one hand on the front, one hand on the back. Now we're going to be placing our hands on the throat. Many people are uncomfortable having their throat touched. So what I like to do is hook the hand underneath the chin and then allow it to kind of sit like that. And you can place the other hand behind if you'd like. So there's space flowing in between the two hands and space between your hands and your neck. And now we're going to be placing our hands on your shoulders. Okay. So just here, just placing our hands on the shoulders. Let's just use that as an invitation to release our shoulders. If you're placing your hands, releasing. There we go. Just release. Okay. Now at the heart center, I'm just going to hover my hands over your heart center. If you're comfortable, you can place your hands on your heart center. One of you requested seeing my whole necklace. This isn't a really good outfit for it, but there it is. It's hard for me to do all of the work that I need to do here when I'm far enough away for you to see it, but there it is. Maybe I'll do another video where you can see it a little bit better. Maybe a Q&A actually. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below. I know you ask a lot of questions, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will get to those in a Q&A, if that's something you're interested in. Now hovering over the heart center, and again you can place your hands at the heart center if you're comfortable with that. I always feel so connected to you all when I'm sending this energy to the heart center. Okay. And now placing my hands on the solar plexus, 2 to 3 fingers above the belly button, just in the soft spot between the ribs, the rib cage, you know. Okay, and now we're going to place our hands on the sacral, 2 to 3 fingers beneath the belly button. That's my dog again. She wants to go out. And now we're placing the hands on the outside of the hips, sending that healing energy flowing in between the two hands. So placing my hands on the outside of your hips and just letting that energy flow between the hands. You can do the same for yourself. It's actually very nice and very comforting to place your hands on your hips like that. Breathing exercise you can do. Breathe in as deep as you can and then breathe out on a lovely. Okay. So now I'd like to run through with a few other stones and just play around a little bit more with our theme. So I have this piece of petrified wood and I have this piece of septarian. And I think that these are both great stones for trust. Septarian is a great stone for building boundaries that protect and support us. It's a great stone for protection, but the kind of protection that we create for ourselves. And petrified wood is great. I like to use it for tapping into the wisdom of the trees. What can we learn from them? One of you had the best comment about trusting in the wisdom of the trees, and I wish I could read it right now to you, but it was all about the many aspects of the tree, and it was beautiful. So thank you for that comment if you're watching this. But we can trust in timing. The trees move slowly. They are stationary, but they sway in the breeze. They grow slowly, and yet everything is achieved. They have everything they need without moving quickly, without running after it. They have everything that they need. They trust in the earth, placing their roots deep within her, moving through. We can learn so much from just observing nature. Trusting that if we give our branches to be home to other beings, birds and squirrels and insects and things, that we'll still have enough for ourselves. We'll still have room to grow, space to be ourselves. We'll still receive all of the nutrients and everything we need to survive. So we can really focus in on just trusting. How can you invite more trust into your situation? Everybody's going through different things and everybody's moving through different challenges. But how can we invite more trust into this moment? You can start there. Trust that it's safe to release our burdens for this session and lay them beside us, knowing that if we choose to pick them up later, they'll be there. But for now, it's okay to just put them down. Put down whatever is weighing you down, worrying your mind, preventing you from being present, preventing you from being joyful. See if you can put it down for a moment, not in denial of your experience, but rather to say, I see it, it's there. What's happening right now? And again, I know everyone's situation is different and this doesn't apply to everybody. As with everything, take what empowers you and please leave anything that doesn't. How can we invite more trust into divine timing? That there is energy working to bring you what you want, to bring you what you need, to teach you what you need to know in order for you to achieve and arrive at what you want. Trusting that we are connected to energies that we can't maybe understand right now how they're working for us. We can't maybe understand how this situation is going to play out. What we can do is choose to practice the deep and sacred act of trust, trusting. And release anything that is making you doubt that connection, doubt yourself, doubt others. There's a time to move through using our conscious mind to decipher whether this doubt is useful. But for now, let's lay that down and let's practice trust. It's a lot about surrendering to uncertainty, to the unknown. Surrendering in discomfort. Surrendering, not in the sense of giving up, but just relinquishing control. Relinquishing our hold on the outcome. We do what we can, we do our best, and we release. We focus on what we want, we're clear about what we want, we're clear about what we need, and we release. We release and we trust. Obviously, this video is about trust. So this is 4 times when you are trying to call trust into your life. There are times when it's important to question. I'm not denying that. But trust is a very, very powerful energy. It's a very powerful tool. It's a very powerful practice. Okay. Lovely. I wanted to end with selenite, but I think I'm going to end with this tower instead of our wands. So I'm going to move through, and I'll actually light a little bit of incense here, sage, and move through and then cast anything that's blocked into that smoke. Okay. Great. Just placing that there, smoldering away. And now we're going to just kind of clear anything, pull it away, cast it into the smoke. Pull it away, cast it into the smoke. Pull it away, cast it into the smoke. 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 That smoke is transmuting any of these blockages so that they can be transformed and transmuted to be used in a helpful, productive way. Okay. Lovely. Now I'm going to anoint you with a little bit of frankincense. Just a tiny baby, because it's expensive. Just I love that smell. Okay. And I'm just going to place this right behind your ears here. do the same for me. And now I'm going to use my owl rattle. Move this through your etheric field to thicken it up, create a really beautiful protective barrier as you move through your day. Protected with freedom to trust, freedom to move through your experience, feeling like the universe and Mother Earth has your back, starting at the crown. Okay. All right. Last time, I'm going to spray to your right, to your left, down at your feet, and up at your head. Okay. So now I'm going to place my hands on each of your chakra points. We're going to close here with our closing affirmations. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative, and you are emotionally available. You are safe. You are safe. Just doing a bit of fluffing here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day or night, morning, whatever it is that you're doing. And until next time, be well.